Hey, what's up everybody? Hammerheart Metal Reviews here once again, doing another discography countdown of one of my favorite bands. Today we are going to be talking about Wolves in the Throne Room. This is some atmospheric black metal from Washington. Just had a brand new album come out today titled Primordial Arcana. I'm also going to be including this album in my list. They have 7 albums altogether. I'm just going to count down from my least favorite down to my favorite. Give you a little bit of background of the band. It's formed by the Weaver brothers, 2 brothers from Washington. Really have kind of like a do-it-yourself black metal approach to this. Mostly just been the 2 of them in the band for most of their career. They do have a second guitarist now that's also in the band, like a 3rd member. But on their early albums, it was just the 2 of them, maybe with some guest female vocals and stuff like that. But yeah, they really just build great atmospheres, really evokes nature really well in their albums and in their overall sound. You can really hear some like Burzum and Emperor influences going on. Sorry, my dog is barking a little bit in the background there. But yeah, just really killer stuff. So let's get right into this without further ado. Coming in at number 7, if you know the band, this one should be pretty straightforward. Probably pretty consensus pick for least favorite from 2014 is Celestite. This is really the only one that's not really a black metal album. This is just like dark ambient music, all instrumental. This kind of thing, like, it's not really for me. It's not my cup of tea. But that being said, like, for what it is pretty good. Like, it's enjoyable. It's very relaxing. You can just drift off to it, get lost in it. But that being said, yeah, it's not something that I really go back to very often at all. Easy choice for me that this one's coming in last. Not really a big surprise here. But let's move it right along. Coming up next at number 6 from 2011, actually the album right before that, is Celestial Lineage. This one is, yeah, pretty enjoyable album. Maybe some more keyboards on and synthesizers on this one than in the past, but that's not a bad thing. It really helps build the atmosphere. Still some clean female vocals here and there. Really gives it like some warmth amongst the harsher black metal tones. There is just great atmosphere on this album. The musicianship is off the charts. I can't put this one as high as the first 3 albums that were before this because those ones are just a little bit better, but this is still a very enjoyable album. Favorite songs on here, Thuja Magus Imperium, Astral Blood is really cool as well. Just all in all, still a pretty solid album. It's only coming in 6th because I like the other ones better. So let's now get into the top 5. Coming in at number 5 from 2017 is Thrice Woven. This one was the follow-up to Celestite, so they had put out their just completely ambient instrumental album, and then this was a nice really return to black metal, really nice return to form. There are still some female vocals mixed in, and a few ambient passages here and there. They experiment with some different sounds and different kind of like chanting and clean singing. But yeah, this band just always pushes the envelope. They don't really have any boundaries in their sound. They do whatever the fuck they want, and I love them for it. There's a really heavy atmosphere on here, and the keyboards really give it like this beauty and weight. And all in all, this is still a very enjoyable album. I can't put it higher than this because the other ones are better, but still nonetheless pretty solid. This one's probably like an 8 out of 10 for me. Best songs on here, Born from the Serpent's Eye, Fire's Roar in the Palace of the Moon is fucking killer. All in all, yeah, pretty solid album. Now let's move it on. Coming in at number 4, I'm putting the brand new one just released today, Primordial Arcana. I've only listened to this album twice, so this might be an unfair ranking. Maybe in time it'll go higher or lower, but my first impressions are very positive. I really like what this album is. Yeah, these kind of albums, atmospheric black metal, it really takes a lot of listens to really digest everything going on. So yeah, only listening to it twice is not really fair to even do a ranking right now, but I'm doing it anyways because I've just listened to this and I'm excited and I wanted to put this video out today. So yeah, with this album, the songs on here are not as long as in the past for the most part. Like, there's still a couple longer songs, but in the past they really have very lengthy songs. This one is more straightforward, really more just like dialed in approach to their songwriting. A lot of songs only around like the 5.5 minute mark. But that's not taking anything away from it. Sometimes shorter songs are better. This album really evokes nature's beauty very well. You just feel like you're in the woods. Like, this album is just entrancing. I feel like it would be perfect for a stroll through the woods. Just get lost in nature. Maybe the production is a little better than some albums in the past, a little more polished and modern. There's still great use of keyboards and synths on here. It really builds the great atmosphere. But all in all, it's just an excellent modern black metal album, and I fucking love it. I can't wait to listen to this some more, and we'll see if it gets even higher. But yeah, my favorite tracks on here, Mountain Magic, the opening track, that was an early release of the single. Fucking killer. They did release a couple other songs too, but of the 3 pre-releases, I think Mountain Magic was my favorite one. And then some other great songs that hadn't been released yet in advance of the album are Through Eternal Fields is really killer. Kind of a slower, mid-paced song, but I really like it. Masters of Rain and Storm is the longest song on the album, around 10 minutes, and it's fucking killer. Just all in all, pretty solid fucking album. Really liking it. My early impression, I'm giving it like 8.5 out of 10. Maybe it'll get higher on this list, maybe lower, but yeah, probably not lower. I'm really liking it. And yeah, let's move this on now to the top 3. Coming in third from 2009 is Black Cascade. This was their 3rd album, and this one is a killer. Really like upbeat tempos on here. Maybe it lacks a little bit of the atmosphere from the first 2 albums, which I'll talk about after. Clearly the first 2 albums are my number 1 and number 2, but we'll see which order I have them in. But nonetheless, there is still great atmosphere on here. It's just not quite on the same level of excellence as the first 2 albums, but it's still fucking killer. Songwriting on here is awesome. The drumming is fucking nuts. It's so goddamn amazing. Like, I still fucking love this album. It's easily an 8.5 out of 10. Probably more like 8.7 out of 10, something like that. Best songs on here, Wanderer Above the Sea of Fog is fucking killer. Crystal Ammunition is great. All in all, there's not really any weak songs on here. It's just a killer album. That's why it's in at number 3. So that just leaves 2. Their first 2 albums, both fucking masterpieces. This is really tough to put one above the other because they're both just that superb. But I'm going to, because that's fun with doing these lists. So coming in at number 2, I'm putting the debut from 2006, Diadem of 12 Stars. So yeah, this album, when it came out, like, yeah, there wasn't too much atmospheric black metal exactly like this. The production just makes you really feel like you're out in the forest under the stars. It's just got really warm and rich guitar tones, which not a lot of black metal can really get these tones right, but they really nailed their sound. The guitar performances and drumming performances are off the charts, just fucking great. The melodies are awesome, excellent transitions from riff to riff. There's still some great female vocals interspersed with the black metal screams. They really do that really well. They don't overdo it, but just intersperse it here and there. It's fucking awesome. This whole album is amazing, but my favorite tracks are probably Queen of the Borrowed Light, and then the long 20-minute epic, A Shimmering Radiance, Diadem of 12 Stars. Absolutely awesome. This one is easily a 9 out of 10, if not more. Fucking awesome, but that leaves one that is even more awesome. My favorite Wolves in the Throne Room album is their 2nd album. It's from 2007, titled Two Hunters. Fucking amazing album. Just fucking awesome for atmospheric black metal. It really brings in the atmosphere of like wilderness, but with a lot of despair in there too. Like, it's almost rawer than the debut in feel, but there's still excellent production. Like, it's not like shitty production when I say raw. It's just rawer in feel, but the production is still amazing that you can hear everything. There's still some female vocals in spots. It actually has like an ambient intro. Can't even talk here. An ambient intro. And there's a little more experimentation going on with some other ambient passages even throughout a song. But all in all, like, this is just an amazing piece of music. Like, it's like a piece of art. You just get fucking lost in this. Gaze under the stars and listen to this, and you will have a great fucking time. My favorite Wolves in the Throne Room song is on this album. That is Vastness and Sorrow. Absolutely epic. And there's also an awesome 18-minute epic on this. I will lay down my bones among the rocks and roots. Long-ass title, long-ass song, but fucking amazing. All in all, really killer album by a killer band. Anyways, these are just my opinions as usual. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. What do you think of the brand new album? What did you think of my list? What's your favorite Wolves in the Throne Room album? Do you like Celestite? I don't hate it, but I don't really listen to it that often either. So let me know your opinions down below. I'd love to hear it. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. Until next time, Hammerheart Metal Reviews out!